What's going on, Shady people? Shady Penguinn here, and I haven't done one of these in a little while, a few weeks, so I decided to go ahead and spend today's video, or one of today's videos, kind of just sitting back and talking to you guys. We got this no music vibe going on, and some of you really enjoy it, which makes me happy because I love sitting down and just talking to you guys about things that are in my mind. So I have a topic for today that I had actually seen in the comment section of the video when I asked for topics for me to talk about, and then also something that's been kind of close to my personal life as of late. So as you guys can tell by the title, this video is going to be about friends and favors. Now, this is a crazy area of life that I think most people will experience and go through at some point or another. And if I could go back like 10 years and tell 15-year-old Shady, little Shady, beardless, long hair, emo kid Shady, that, hey man, I have some advice for you regarding favors and friendships, and here it is, and I feel like 15-year-old Shady would have just grown a beard right then and there due to the knowledge that I would have dropped on him. So, if this video even helps one person, then it's totally worth me uploading, and if you find it helpful, make sure you go ahead and spread it around by leaving a like and do whatever you gotta do. So, when it comes to favors and friends, you may have heard this term before. I owe you one. Like, I owe you. You did something for me and now I owe you. Now I'm not gonna say that that's a bad phrase or that's a bad mindset to have, but here's what I've learned throughout my adventure on this world. When you, there's like 2 or 3 different stances to take from this, or not stances, but 2 or 3 different perspectives from this topic. So let's just break it down. I actually don't have any notes. I kind of should have made some notes, but it's all good. If you're already here, that means that I can pretty much say anything at this point and you'll be on board. But the first perspective I want to take it from is the person that is asking for a favor. So if you are the friend that says, hey, can you do me a solid? Here's what I have to say about that. I think that it's very important to recognize as a person, and this is something that I struggle with the most. As a person, you are not going to be able to do everything yourself. There are just some things, whether it's a talent that you don't have or a strength that you don't have, that you're just not going to be able to do that someone else can. For example, I am most likely the least handy person on the face of the earth. Maybe not the least handy. I've done a couple things. I put that bookshelf together, straight up basically IKEA from Amazon, but you know, the basic stuff. And I have to admit that since I've moved out, I have become a tiny bit more handy. However, I know for a fact that is not my strong suit. My strong suit is technology. So there may be times when I have to go ahead and ask someone for a favor. Like, hey, can you help me out with this? I'll buy you dinner. I'll do something. And I'll be honest, normally it's hard for me to ask for favors. It really is. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't like to depend on people. So this is part of the video that I'm kind of talking to myself, that I need to accept that there are things about myself things that I cannot do, things that I just don't have the ability to do or don't have the resources. And I need to depend on other people, and I need to be okay with depending on other people. The problem comes in when you depend on other people and you feel like, man, now I owe you. Now you did me a favor. I went to a friend for a favor and now I owe you. And that's something that over the past 6 months, I've really been trying to abolish in my life. And the only way I've found that you can get rid of that mentality, that feeling of, man, now I owe you, is to talk to the person. I want to say to be in a relationship with that person, like to be a close friend or a friend at the very least. And I think the only other way, the more important part of being able to accept favors and not feeling like you owe someone is to freely do favors for other people. So there's going to be another video kind of tailgating this topic at some point this week or next week. But now taking it from the perspective of someone who is going to be doing the favor, I have to say, if you are a person that is going to say, hey man, I got you. I can take care of that for you. Let me do this for you. Do not do 2 things. Do not do 2 things. One, do not even say that. Do not even say you will do that favor if you do not intend to do it. And I have been guilty of this. I have been guilty of saying, oh yeah, I can do that, and just taking on more, biting off more than I can chew. Biting off more than I can chew. And that's really where the next video is going to come in. Biting off more than you can chew and the reasons why you shouldn't. But I've been that person that said, oh, I can take care of that. I can make that short video. I can do that, what have you, and then I'll drop the ball, whether it's because of being busy, whatever the excuse is, whatever your schedule is. Recognize what your schedule is and what you're already doing, and before you tell someone, yes, I can do that for you, really think about it, because it sucks. And I'm saying this as the person that's done this before. It sucks to be the person that's let down. And honestly, it sucks to be the person to let someone else down. You don't want to be that guy that people say, oh yeah, you know, that guy, he's unreliable. He's unreliable. I'd rather be the guy that always says no, that says, no, I can't do it, I'm just busy. I'd rather be the busy guy than the unreliable guy. Neither of which is ideal, but I'd definitely rather be the busy guy. I think I'm pointing where I put I don't know which guy was standing where. I'm so sorry about that. But I think you guys get what I'm saying. Point number 2, don't say that you'll do someone a favor just so you can get like money in the favor bank. Like, haha, now Jimmy owes me because I did this for him. And now Jimmy's going to edit all of my videos. You know, that didn't start out as Jimmy Sunders, but then for some reason it turned into, I love you, Jimmy. Don't be that guy. Don't say, hey, I'm only doing this so that I can get one in. I can have that deposit in my favor bank, and when I need a favor, I'm going to do it. I really genuinely think the only reason you should do a favor for someone is because you want to, and because you can. Because you can and because you want to. Now, this kind of goes full circle because, you know, we all only get 24 hours in a day. So it would be very easy to be very greedy with your time. And I struggled with that a lot in the past. I think over the past year and a half, I've really abolished that in my life. I don't know why the term abolished is so strong in my vocabulary today. I've really tried to get rid of that idea of, you know, my time is my time and it's limited, so I have to make sure that I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm lucky enough that YouTube is my full-time job, and that leaves me with a very flexible schedule, and I try to remember that. At the same time, you can't be too flexible with anything you do because work is work. I completely understand that, but I have been given the opportunity where I can sort of flex out my schedule to where if someone asks me for a favor in the middle of the day, like, hey, can you take me to this place? Or, oh, hey, do you want to come clean this place? Do you want to come volunteer here? Where I can say yes. That's kind of why one of the things I do is once a month I volunteer at a children's home where they have kids who are kind of going through tough times, and I just play video games with them for an hour and a half. It's like in the middle of the week, and it's kind of like I could be streaming there, I could be recording there, I could be chilling with the Shady lady or doing something else, but it's a way to combat greed in my heart when it comes to time. See, greed isn't just about money. Greed is about money, time, talent, everything. So I really don't like greed. I think greed is one of the worst qualities a human being can have. Of course, there are some times where you have to be selfish and think of yourself, but I think that it's very healthy to have those times where you don't think of yourself and you live more of a selfless lifestyle. So those are my 2 biggest points. When you're going to be the person doing the favor. Now, this is where things get wild, because during my time on the internet, I have met like so many people that are good at different things, whether it's creating music, creating art, creating outros, creating intros, doing certain video cuts, montages. And I've had experiences, all different types of experiences. And like I said, I've been on the side of the rope where I have said, oh yeah, I can take care of that for you. And I've dropped the ball. And I've also been on the side of the rope where the ball has been dropped on me. And more often than not for me, because I don't really charge for anything, but I've had experiences with people who charge for their trade, whether it's video editing, intros, outros, graphics, art, whatever it may be, like all the different talents, music. I've like getting music commissioned. I've had all different types of talents. And this is my biggest advice I can give to you if you're someone on the internet. And this is more geared towards content creators, but it could be useful later on in life. So I hope you hear me. If you have a friend or someone, anyone an acquaintance that you meet online, and they do something that is worth paying for, oh my goodness, please pay them for it. Oh my goodness, please pay them for it. This does not mean, and here's why I say that. I don't have anything that I sell. I can't say, oh, you know what? I'm going to trade you this song, commissioned song for my blank. I don't have a blank. I'm empty-handed right here. So I have nothing. So I put money in that hand and then I give them a high five and there you go. There's the payment. But if you get into a relationship or a friendship or a business partnership, whatever it may be with someone, and they're doing things as favors, it gets very dicey because if that's their job normally, the paid jobs are probably going to take priority. For a little while, maybe you may feel like you're getting like, wow, man, this person's really coming in clutch, doing me solids. I love it. It's going to come to a point where that's going to stop, where the honeymoon phase is going to end, and you really should just be paying for them. Now, if you ever find someone that just says, no, you can't pay me, we're friends, I would feel weird taking money from a friend, because there are people like that. And maybe if I had something that I would sell, I could understand that, where I'd be like, I just want to do this for you as a favor. I would say don't participate in that business relationship. You can still be their friend, of course, like why the heck not? But don't participate in that business relationship anymore, because if you become dependent on something that's worth money and you're getting it for free, more often than not, it's gonna actually end up ruining the friendship. It will, and that's just been my experience with it. I really hope you guys can glean something from that, even a little bit of something. If I was a person who had something to sell, had something in this hand, and I genuinely wanted to offer it as a favor and say, listen, we're friends, I'm just gonna hook you up, bam. I've had someone do that for me before. I've had Cohen do that for me before. I didn't want to name drop in this video, but I've had Cohen do that for me before, where when we opened up Aeon Gaming, he's like, yo, dude, I wanted to commission him for it. He gave me a price, and he said, you know what, man, for this set of graphics, I did them really fast. I'm just gonna give them to you and help you guys out because I really want to support Aeon. And that was huge, and I was so grateful for that. But he did it. He just did it. If I had something to sell, it's this hand. This is my hand. This is your hand. If I had something to sell or something that was worthwhile and I was going to offer it as a favor, once I gave my word that this is going to be what I'm going to do, like this is my favor for you, that all of a sudden would be top priority for me, because I need to recognize the need that the other person had, especially if they were willing to pay for it. If they were willing to say, hey, I want to pay you for this. And you're like, no, I'm your friend. And then you decide to just not do it. It sucks. That's a really quick way to end both a business partnership and a friendship, because it's like, dude, I wanted to pay you for it. So I don't completely understand this because my hand is empty. So this seems a little bit more complicated. If you are out there and you do any sort of commission work, whether it's music, graphics, art, whatever else it could be, videos, editing related, if you could jump in the comment section and give some advice for that part, because I really am unfamiliar with how it feels to be in that side and wanting to do someone a favor. As far as I'm concerned, if someone has a talent that I don't have, if they can do something like I was talking about at the beginning of the video that I can't do, I'm just gonna pay them for it. I wanna pay you for it because your time is worth something. I think everyone's time is worth something. And to say that, you know what, don't worry, I'm going to do this for free, that's fine and dandy if you're going to do it, but realistically, value your time. If it's your job, and if you're in a spot where you do want to do that for someone, that's awesome. Like I said at the beginning of this video, doing favors and being generous with your time, I think is very, very important. I think it's a great way to combat greed that is so natural for us to lean into. But there's a difference between combating greed and then just, I don't know, just doing it just to do it, just to say that I'm going to do it and then not follow through with that favor. So all in all, it's been like 13 minutes. The TLDR of this video is friendships and favors can be tricky. If I were you, I would never offer to do a favor for someone unless you don't expect anything in return. And I would also encourage you to do that once in a while. I would encourage you to do favors for the people that are close to you and not expect anything in return. Just know that helping someone out is a reward enough. That's how I feel about it. And if you're someone that's going to ask for a favor, don't expect it to get done. Just if you're asking for a favor and it's going to be a freebie or whatever it may be, whether it's commission work or like help me move or drive me to the airport, if you're going to ask someone for a favor, you're not going to throw them like a meal or something. Don't expect it. Don't expect it to be done. It's a tough thing to wrap your mind around because obviously you'd only be asking that kind of favor from a really close friend, but we're all imperfect. We're all going to let each other down at some point. It's just bound to happen. We all screw up from time to time. So just keep that in mind whenever you ask someone for a favor. And that way, maybe when someone asks you for a favor, if they know your stance on it and the way you feel about it, they'll feel the same way if you ever let them down, and they'll just be able to brush it off. Something very, very important that I need to end this video with. If someone lets you down when you ask them for a favor, do not grow bitter. And that's one of the hardest things. You know, I've heard it said many times that bitterness in your heart is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Bitterness and unforgiveness. So and I've struggled with that a lot. I definitely have. I'll be transparent with you guys. I sometimes when someone lets me down, I'm just like, dude, why did I give you another chance? Why did I ask you again? Why didn't I just go somewhere else? And all that's true. You know what? Dumb old Shady should have gone somewhere else and just found someone to do the work that outside of that scope. And I'm learning that now, and I am applying that for sure. So if you guys can go ahead and maybe this is completely irrelevant to you, but if it is relevant, make sure you show some love down below. Share this video around. Maybe we can help a couple shady people that are in some tough spots when it comes to creating healthy friendships. And that's just one little area of friendship that I think really can be a tricky place. And maybe this won't work for you at all. Maybe I'm completely wrong and you have someone in your life that you could just constantly ask for favors when they don't matter. Like, for example, me and Nips, I think Nips and I have each other's back no matter what. When I was dying, but when I needed to get driven to the hospital, he just jumped on it, drove me to the hospital, it was fine. When he was in the hospital, I drove down there and I was there for him until his mom kicked us out. But like, it's fine. Like, there are going to be people in your life that you know you can depend on. However, like Nips can't, like if I asked Nips, I said, hey Nips, can you write me a song? Can you write me a song? He couldn't do that. It's not in his utility belt. So there's going to be that friend you have, but maybe they're not like the jack of all trades, which is totally fine. So all in all, I think I've blabbered a lot. I really enjoy doing these kind of videos. I hope you enjoyed them too. I love you so much. So I'm going to get the hashtag out of here. Have yourselves a good day, but above all else, keep it